gonna believe this, but it's actually was snowing here just like a few seconds ago. So like there's a vent above here, and it was snowing from that vent right onto the, like it was actually snowing for like a good 20 seconds. So probably what's going on is every time there is snow that is coming down, and the wind catches in such an angle that it comes right down. Here comes my train. Darn it, every time. You know, do you know what thing sucks about the New York City Transit? Is that every time you go in the tunnel, you lose service. Like, there's only service in the stations. Like, every single time that that I go in the subway tunnel, there is no service. Almost everywhere else, whether it's Boston, Washington, D.C., there always is service, even in the tunnels. In New York City, that sadly isn't the case. And sometimes there's no service. Like, you have to it's like as soon as I'm gonna enter the tunnel, there's gonna be a massive lag. You'll see. There's gonna be a big lag. So right, I'm not gonna touch any buttons.
Transfers available to 1, 2, 3, 7, A, C, N, Q, R, and W trains, and shuttle to Grand Central.
So there's only service in the stations, as you see. There was a lag from when we left the station until the next one. There was like a good 30, 40-second lag. So basically, if you were stuck in the tunnels, no self-service. This is very bad. It's very dangerous.
The next stop is 50th Street.
This is not only inconvenient, but it's incredibly dangerous. Like, they were supposed to do this years ago, where they were supposed to line all the tunnels with, antennas for service. Normally, it ain't so quiet on the trains because there's always vents, like the AC's running. Yeah, this video is about snow in the subway station. Yeah.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
See, only when I'm in the tunnels there's service. So once we get to 7th Avenue, 53rd Street, there'll be service again. So yeah, the issue is, I'm trying to say, is no service in the tunnels. This is a very bad issue. Like, this is dangerous. Because if something were to happen in the tunnels, people wouldn't have service, in order to call 911 or contact their loved ones. Something needs to be done about this. We're at 7th Avenue, 53rd Street right now. So you see the problem. This is why it goes in and out. Like 1 second I'm in one station, next second I'm in another.
E-train. The next stop is 5th Avenue, 53rd Street.
You know what?
Clear of the closing doors, please.
Basically, so I'm going to be snapping my fingers so you can tell when the stream is going to end. Okay, so from the moment we go in the tunnel, I'll start snapping my fingers. And that'll be basically a marker so you'll know when the service cut out. And when that happens, I won't be snapping my fingers when we're arriving to the next station, but I will be.
The next stop is Lexington Avenue, 53rd Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Took a while to connect to this station. I actually had to reset the Wi-Fi a few times. The Wi-Fi, airplane mode. So next stop is going to be Lexington Avenue. So okay, gonna do it again. Okay. Okay, so this is basically the issue with the subway. Like, I'm gonna.
This is a Queens-bound E train.
I mean, I started this video as to showcase snow in the tunnel, but since I'm live streaming right now, since I'm live streaming, I wanted to showcase the flaws with the New York City subway system. The communication flaws, like having no service in a tunnel is a major flaw. Like that wasn't an issue 10, 15 years ago, but it's a big issue today.
Next stop is Queens Plaza.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
So I'm in Queens right now, guys. Yeah, so that lag was caused by being in the tunnel, the East River Tunnel. Oh, that's the announcement from the other train behind me. That's a Manhattan Mount E train. So because there's no because the AC isn't.
This is a Jamaica Center-bound E Express train. The next stop is Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue.
So I'm not ending the stream.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What I'm going to do is once I go to 71st, I'm actually going to take the bus back to avoid. Actually, no, I'm going to take the train back. So I should be out of the tunnel in about 15 minutes. By 10:35, I should be out of the tunnel. Even though I'm all the way in Manhattan. No, by 10:40, sorry. Because it takes about 15 minutes to get to Queens Plaza. I mean, to 71st. And another 5 to 10 minutes to get back. So probably by 10:45 at the latest, I should be out of the tunnel. Oh, right. There. As you see right now, it is 10:34 right now. Approximately 10:34, 10:33. Yeah. So it's 10:34. And I just got off that E train, the one that just departed. This train was already here with his door opens when we arrived. So I said like 10:45 at the latest. It was 10:20 when I was at Queens Plaza. So in less than 20 minutes, if this train moves, I'll probably be in my apartment or out of the station. I said I'll be out of the station by around 10:40. Come on.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
It's currently 10:35 right now. So it's 10:37. I got off the train. So I should be out of. So yeah, it's snowing outside. I just saw. Might snow. Snowing pretty moderately outside right now. So it's not heavy, it's just moderate snow. But just like in Long Island, almost everything is covered in a glaze of ice. Because there was quite a bit of freezing drizzle yesterday and last night. Yesterday afternoon, there was quite a bit of freezing drizzle. And you could see some of the frozen residue here. See? We didn't have any rain. We had freezing rain. I mean, you could technically call it rain, but most of the precipitation that we had was all frozen. Even though the precip that came down was liquid, it froze almost on contact. Except if some of the surfaces were above freezing, like the car was warmer, it was wet. So we got about, I would say, quarter of an inch, maybe 1/10 to quarter of an inch of new snow since the changeover back to snow. Since the precipitation has changed back over to snow, we have about 1/10 to quarter of an inch of snow on the ground. We're having light snow. We're probably gonna get another inch, tops. Maybe not even, maybe a 1/2 an inch. See, this is literally all of the new snow that we have. I'm looking at the crust of ice. About 1/10 of an inch. So we've got about 1/10 of an inch of ice. So yeah, that's about how thick our ice is. We get rid of all the snow. So this is about the width of the ice, right about here. So there's definitely some width to it. But it's from on top of the snow, so see, there's snow on both sides. Like even under the ice, there is a pack of snow. So this is from the freezing rain that we got. So we definitely got accumulation of ice. I would say not more than 1/10 of an inch. So definitely under 1/10 of an inch of ice. But we definitely got freezing rain. I mean, you could see the glaze here. You see the glaze right here. There's a glaze on the trees here. The amount of ice we got wasn't crippling. It wasn't like, didn't cause any problems other than some people slipping and sliding, but it didn't cause any like power outages. It wasn't enough to like weigh down any trees, but there's a glaze on all of the trees because of the frozen precip that we got last night and yesterday afternoon after the changeover. Had we stayed all snow and say we didn't have any freezing drizzle or sleet, we probably would have had like maybe an inch more of snow. I mean, the amount of freezing drizzle and rain that we got was very small. It was maybe just under a tenth of an inch. Most of the precip that we got was actually from the freezing drizzle, most likely. So again, here's the ice right here. I mean, there is some thickness to it. The bottom part is kind of like there's a sleet. That's the bottom. That's the layer when the sleet came in, and the top layer is from the freezing drizzle and rain. So, it's about a tenth of an inch. About a tenth of an inch. So they're saying it's 32 degrees, but I don't think we're gonna go much above freezing today because we're getting now a more northerly wind, so it's probably gonna stay below freezing for most of the day. And and this band of precip actually had sleet with it, but the thing is, the sleet is now further to the south because the 32 degree line, the worm tongue has stayed to our south. So the above freezing temperatures are now south of us. Maybe about 20 miles to our south. There's some, on correlation coefficient, there's some sleet signatures just to south of Staten Island. When this was coming in, I expected some sleet, but the colder air aloft came in and changed the entire band to snow. Well, not the entire band, but the northern part. See, the coating of snow above the ice layer is very thin. See, that's ice. You gotta kind of hit at it to get it to like kind of to fall, because we did have an ice, we did have freezing rain, and this is the result. There's snow under it, like this is the under part, so there's snow there and there's a little snow on top. So oops, broke. Like, it's pretty fragile. This is not a very thick layer of ice. That's about all the thickness there is to it. Over my fingers. That's about roughly 1/10 of an inch. So last night, I had homework that was due, and I'm having issues with it because of the calculations and the formulas. Basically, I never took physics because I went to a special education school, and when I was at LaGuardia, I focused on calculus. I never really took physics because I never actually took physics before. I think I may have to end up dropping this class, unfortunately. I know this is going to look bad on my transcript, but I'd rather have a W on my grade than an F. I'd much rather have a W than an F. Like having a W on your grade, while it isn't good, it's much better than having an F on your grade. A W shows that you dropped the class because you knew you weren't gonna do well in it. There's nothing wrong with getting a W, especially if you have a disability like I do and have no experience in that subject. Like, the meteorology course I'm taking requires a lot of physics. I mean, I barely pulled calculus. It's not because I'm bad in it, it's because I have no experience and I didn't get, tutoring for physics. And the thing is, when I should have been studying algebra, geometry, trig, that kind of stuff, I was in a special ed school. So I kind of had a big, what you would call falling behind. I fell behind really bad. But in the end, I still made it through some of my calc classes. But I never took physics, so. But despite not taking physics, when someone explained to me the formulas and what each term means, I understand the numerical part of it. Like, I get the math. But I always have issues with the order, like what each term means. That's my big issue. I'm probably going to talk to my professor about it. And maybe he can, assign me a tutor just to, or maybe help me, I don't know. Help me make a formula sheet that I can understand. I'll put the term, I'll have and I'll do what each term means. I'll write out a formula sheet. I think what I should do is probably write out a formula sheet. And then next to the formula sheet, write out what that term means. It means the height of this, the temperature of that, And I think if I do that, I'll probably be able to pull the class. But I may end up having to repeat a few courses, probably ATM 205 I may end up having to repeat. Because you're only allowed to have one grade lower than a C. This is all the snow that we got, basically, since the freezing rain ended. So this was pulled out after the freezing rain, so not much snow, but there's still snow to our southwest that's coming in. It's coming in from southwest to northeast. So we're probably going to get another quarter to half an inch of snow before all is said and done. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get my handy dandy ruler and come out and measure the snow. Thanks for watching. Bye. I'm good.
Can I ask a question?
Да.
Вы из Атланта?
Да.
Почему? Почему нет?
So I'm back outside right now. Okay, so I'm back outside now. So I'm putting this ruler in the snow. It's basically not even a quarter of an inch. So I'm now it's about 4 inches of snow. So that 7 inches not from this storm. It's not all from this storm. It's basically almost 7-inch amount is from all the snow. So here's the icy. You hear me hear that? Boom, boom, boom. See, I can't go through because that's the ice. Once I break through the ice, see, You can almost see it like trying to collapse inward. Look. It's about 3.5 inches total. Yeah, so looks like Queens got less because Queens changed over to snow, sleet, and freezing rain faster than we did here in Long Island. Okay. So basically, about 4 inches of snow. Three inches. So I'm gonna have to be really careful measuring the snow. So yeah, about 4 inches looks like. See, it's here's more than 4. It's closer to 5 here. So it varies, depends on where you are. So I think using this should probably be a little better. All right. Looks like here it's a little less. I'm gonna try to. Three inches. Come on. Yeah. About 4 inches, because I'm getting different varying amounts. So it's varying. It's very variable. I need to get a flat surface in order to measure the snow, because there's a lot of footprints here. A lot of people have trampled here, so I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna have to find a flatter place in order to get a more accurate measurement of the snow. And the thing is, using a car is also not very reliable, because cars often, usually when the snow first falls on cars, it melts. Is that Mauser? Wait, is that? This car will probably have the same amount. Yeah. They're all pretty similar. Right around 3 inches. And okay, the screen is black. How is the screen right now? Is it black or is it better again? How is it right now at this moment? So I'm leaving my ruler in front of the screen. Can you see it? Because I see it on my screen. I see the ruler. Do you see this? How many fingers am I holding up? Actually, well, it's showing up on my end. Damn it! You know what? I'm restarting the video. Ending the stream.